Welcome back. I am excited to have you here. This is the podcast RICtual. It is Rituals for Instinctive Intelligence. And I'm your host, Victoria Richardson. I'm the creator of RIC. I'm a coach, I am a founder, I am a lifelong marketer, and somebody who is deeply passionate about connecting people with their purpose and uncovering what keeps them stuck and small. And this is where we're going to really decode our instinctual intelligence and unlock our code to greatness. Many times, people will be stuck in the loop of comparison or in a shame spiral as if they were broken or something was wrong with them. Uh, we're going to look through the lenses of conation, energetics, and the subconscious mind. We'll explore what it means to live, to lead, and to create from an aligned place with our deepest instincts. We are all designed very differently, and RIC decodes that for us. We're going to blend science and spirituality and strategy, and we're going to trust our wiring. We're going to honor our own rhythms, and we're going to leverage the wisdom that's already inside of us. So it's time to ignite our instincts. Let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be diving into the R.A.P.I.D profile, and I'm going to do a little screen share so you can see what it's like when you get access to this GPT. And we're going to walk through all of the different elements so that you can familiarize yourself with it. And I'll kind of explain the different components and methodology behind it. So first, before we dive in, the R.A.P.I.D profile is an acronym. So R.A.P.I.D stands for rhythm. This is how we instinctively move and take action. Attraction is A, what draws us in and nourishes us, and it's attached to our values. P is for power, what fuels our fire and where can we assert ourselves a little bit more. I is for intelligence. This is where our gifts expand and uplift others. And D is for disruption, the friction that shapes our growth and originality. So I am going to share my screen with you, and so you can see what it's like to receive the RIC, and we'll go through this process together. So here we go. I think it's this one. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Once you purchase your RIC, you will get a confirmation email like this. It's ready to go. It's your instinct coach, personal strategist, and performance companion. Here's what we just unlocked. Our instinct pattern and archetype are 1 of 81. Our custom insights from our human design energetic blueprint, which brings all those combinations up to, I think, 100 or 405 combinations. Personalized insights revealing the unique way we're built to move, lead, and evolve. Guidance based on our inner rhythm and strengths. Tools to help us lead, post, and perform in full alignment with us. So how do we use this? Log into GPT. I do recommend that you have a Plus account because there are some limitations with the amount of chats that you can do. So from desktop or an app, is best. You're going to click on this link. You're going to save it to your sidebar. And this GPT gives us a step-by-step, whether we're exploring our purpose, navigating change, or dialing into how we're truly meant to lead. I say, need a gut check, a pep talk, or spark of inspiration, just ask RIC. So I give you some social handles and things like that. When you purchase the RIC, you also get a confirmation email into my affiliate program. My affiliate program is really simple to sign up for. I might do a whole video on that just so you can walk through that with me, but you create an account, you get a unique link, and I give you a special coupon code that you can give to your friends and your family to get a discount like you received if you were one of the first 500 to unlock your RIC. Anyone who purchases through the link that you send them, you'll receive $5. There's no cap. My goal and my hope is that you will feel inspired enough within yourself to want to share this with your family and friends. And I want to give you something in return for sharing this tool with people, because I think it's going to take all of us to start to unwind our conditioning and really start to do that self-development and apply these strategies to make the world a better place. So without further ado, I'm going to click on that link. We're going to get into the GPT, and I'm going to walk through the RIC profile with you so you can see what you get. And then, of course, we can ask questions. All right, so you're going to be met with this screen. So we're going to say, get my RIC, click to start. There are two paths when it comes to the RIC profile. The first is if you've taken your Kolbe A assessment, you get 4 numbers. The Kolbe A measures our conative instincts. This is done by Kolbe Corp. I am a certified Kolbe consultant and team specialist. And it is one of the things that we look at in the RIC. So we're looking again at conation, energetics, and subconscious programs. So the first layer here is your conation. I know my Kolbe instinct code, which is 5492. But if you don't know it, you can, say, no, I don't know it, right? It'll prompt you to either take the Kolbe index, which takes 20 minutes and reveals your instinctive strengths. I do recommend it if you can. I think it's $55 online. You'll get your 4 numbers and you'll plug them into this chat. If you aren't able to spend that money or you're not wanting to do that at this time, you can say 2, keep going and answer 4 simple questions to get down to your zones that you fall into with conation. Since I know my numbers, I'm going to put in 5492 as if I took the assessment, and then that chat will do the interpretation. So you can see that it's a little bit different than what Kolbe gives you, right? We're converting the numbers into the zones. So 5 means I'm in the adapter zone. 4 means I'm in adapter zone. 9 means I'm an initiating zone there. And then 2 is my resistor zone. So my 4-letter instinct code is AAIR. So this is also going to break down what pattern I have. Within conation, we have 5 distinct patterns of operation. Mine is known as I'm the boss of me. So what this says is you initiate in 1 zone, you adapt in 2, and you resist in 1. So if you also have that combination of initiation, 2 adapting, and 1 resisting, you would fall into this category and pattern. We are self-led, internally driven, and thrive when we can follow our own rhythm. We know what's essential and don't need external validation to perform at a high level, right? Instinctive archetype. Because I am that initiating quick start, I am the integrator of intuition. My instinctive blend gives me the ability to spark change while adjusting in real time and staying grounded in your body's limits. You bring fluid power, initiating when it matters, adapting when needed, and resisting unnecessary force. So a public example would be Carlos Alcatraz. He plays tennis. I like to use celebrity sports stars in my assessments just to kind of ground it into somebody that you might want to look into. So he's quick to act, responsive in the moment, and grounded in confidence. So my instinctive zones, I'm fact finder, I'm adapting. So I simplify and clarify information. With follow through, I'm also adapting. I adjust plans and tweak systems as needed. With quick start, I'm initiating, so I move fast, embrace change, and create momentum. And an implementer, I'm resisting, so I may avoid unnecessary hands-on tools or physical build-outs. My first job out of college, I worked at a company called Ecolab, and it was sold to me as a sales role. But really what it was I was going into commercial establishments like Olive Garden or Hilton, and I was installing and fixing commercial dish machines and installing their cleaning equipment. And I burnt out really fast. And why I can understand now, right? Just because I can do mechanical things or because I can work with my hands doesn't mean that I want to or that it's good, excuse me, good for my mental energy. When you look at your conation, you want to start with your initiating energy. That's where you're going to want to spend the most amount of your time. When I was starting from my resisting energy, I was essentially going against the grain, which caused major burnout and a lot of retail therapy. And eventually I came to understand my Kolbe, and I understood my Conation, and I understood why that job was so miserable for me, even though other people told me what a great job it was and how much money I could make and how much freedom I had. There was something intrinsically in my instincts that I could not overcome. And by looking at our conation, this is the gift that we get. It's where am I going against the grain and where can I step into more alignment? So my instinct role title is the spark because I initiate and quick start. I'm wired to bring creative energy, momentum, and courage into uncertainty. I'm not here to wait for clarity. I'm here to create it. So the next step that we're going to go to is human design. And so, yes, I do know my birth date, time, and location. If you do not know your time of birth, you can tell the system that you want to answer a couple questions. So you can say no, it'll say no problem. I'm going to give you a series of 9 questions. We can go through that to find your energetic type. This is important because each energetic type operates very differently. We all have different strategies and ways that we operate in the world and how other people perceive us. And so I know my human design. I'm going to actually just upload it here from my downloads. Okay. So I'm going to upload my human design chart. If you are new to this, you'll click this link. That's going to take you to Jenna Zoe's website. One day I'll have an ability to pull this on mine, but without your email or anything, you could put in all of your date, time, and information. And I'm just going to do it really quick so you can see what that looks like. I was born in Phoenix. So once you generate your chart, you're going to get what's known as your human design blueprint. You don't need to go into detail with any of this. Rick will do it for you. But what you do need to do is download your chart, save it to your desktop, and then upload it to the chat just like I did here. So once you do that, it's going to give you your full RIC code. So this first letter here is your energetic type. You're either going to be a manifester, a manifesting generator, a projector, or a reflector. The second part is your conation. So this is a blend between your energetics and conation. The reason I put energetics first is because that is how we know how our intuition speaks to us. This is how we know if we're taking aligned action. This is how we understand strategies to lower energetic barriers and create more flow in life. And then once you're initiated into action is when your conation comes into play. So me being a projector comes first. Then when I'm aligned with my intuition, making aligned choices and decisions, and I'm sprung into action, my conation comes into play. So I'm a projector. My instinct rhythm is adapter, initiator, resistor. So we're going to now map our R.A.P.I.D profile. Yes. So ready. Okay. All right. So here's you're going to see how it breaks down. For every individual, you're going to have the same framework, but different personalized insights. The world of conation and the world of energetics is incredibly complex and dense and multifaceted system. And what I tried to do is pull out those really critical things that you need to know in order to create the most amount of change in your life and to really spark a level of liberation and freedom within you. And so you can go down the road of understanding, your centers and your channels and your gates and your placements and your lines and your different conative, structures. And I will tell you that it's a 5-year journey. I've been on it. I'm still on it. And I don't think you need to know all of that in order to get the most out of it, which is why I created the RIC profile. So we're going to go through this. Rhythm. The definition of our rhythm is our instinctive pattern of action, how we naturally initiate, adapt to situations or resist unnecessary pressure. It's the way we move through life when we're fully aligned with our instincts and not forcing ourselves to operate against our grain. Again, this goes back to conation, right? So my personalized insight is that I initiate and quick start. I adapt in fact finder and follow through, and I resist an implementer. This means that I'm built for fast starts and flexible thinking. A catalytic presence who sparks movement and adapts in real time. Yes. My archetype is the integrator of intuition. It reflects a unique blend of responsive energy and internal wisdom. You're not here to grind through the tangible. You're here to activate ideas, shift direction swiftly, and lead with intuitive momentum. And I will say 100% that resonates, right? The attraction. Our attraction reflects our core values and what draws people and opportunities and energy toward us. It's guided by our Venus placement in our human design chart. Not that you need to know that, but I think for those people who are into the astrology, I want to give you kind of a backdoor into what we're looking at within your chart. And so if you want to go deeper into your Venus placement, you can, right? This reveals the kinds of experiences, aesthetics, and relationships that feel most nourishing to our system. So my Venus gate is in gate 51, line 1. Gate 51 carries the gift of initiative with a tone of high, hold on, buddy, of high voltage disruption and awakening. Not right now, bud. I'll be right out. You're drawn to bold, electric environments where truth is revealed and change begins. You magnetize others through your shock to awakening energy. You are not afraid to stir the status quo if it means waking people up to what matters. And I will tell you that this has been a theme in my life. And it wasn't until I understood human design why or I guess it was because of human design that I started to understand my impact on other people. That when I was super aligned and I was giving this gift of initiative, that not everyone wanted to be initiated. And I think it's really important to break it down like this because I do magnetize now the people who understand that shock to awakening, that I say certain things in certain ways that wake people up almost as a jolt, and some people feel very uncomfortable about that, and I have to be okay that some people don't want that, right? So this insight for me gave me such compassion for myself and others and such clarity about who are my people? Why am I wasting my energy trying to convince people that, they need to be woken up or that they need to be initiated into their awakening? Everything is in perfect timing. And if I can trust the timing and I can just show up authentically as myself, I don't have to force, I don't have to convince, I don't have to push. And what that does energetically is it starts to magnetize those people that are for this to me, right? And this is what I want for you. So power is defined as your power of internal fire, the motivation, protection, and instinctive drive that fuels your attraction. This is driven by our Mars placement. It reveals how we assert ourselves, where we get fired up, and the battles we feel called to fight. Mine is in gate 54, line 2. It is the gate of aspiration, a drive to rise, transform, and transcend limits. Hence the RIC, right? You assert power through quiet ambition. Your fire isn't loud, it's persistent, visionary, and legacy focused. When I think about what I built with Rick, this is exactly what it is. It is a legacy. I messaged my best friend and I said, I just created something that I'm going to be talking about for the next 50 to 60 years of my life. And I feel so grateful for that because this isn't just about understanding for me. This is about helping the collective raise consciousness and helping them transcend their limits. And I've had my dad calls me a bulldog with a bone. When I get locked onto something, I don't let it go. And for me, that's what this is. It's like, I know that there's a shortcut. I know there's a better way. I know that we can use technology to our benefit and we can use it for deep self-discovery and personal alignment, right? If you can't work with a coach, let this be your coach. Okay, let's see. When you move with purpose, yes. You protect potential, yes, in yourself and others, and you are here to lift, build, and inspire toward long-term evolution, 100%. Intelligence. Your intelligence is where your gifts expands. This is done by the Jupiter placement, right? It shows our zone of genius, where life wants to grow you and help you uplift others. My human design profile adds a unique layer onto this intelligence and how it's expressed, right? We all are different types, and that is playing a role in how all of this energy kind of comes to fruition, right? How we do what we do. So mine is in gate 43, line 3. My profile is a 4-1. So my profile in human design is 4-1. My Jupiter gate is 4-43. So this is the gate of insight, a brilliant mind that thinks in lightning flashes ahead of its time. Yes. And I have spent so much time, energy, effort, and tears on trying to get people to see that insight, to see that zone of genius, to see where we're going, to prevent pain. And now I understand through my human design, through my energetics, through my placements, is that those were never my people. And I didn't need to waste my energy trying to convince people of what I already know. Their lack of understanding doesn't change what I know, and it doesn't change the the certainty that I have, right? It just means that they're not ready yet, and that's okay, right? They'll come around when they need to come around, or they won't, because maybe that's not why they're here. So coupled with my 4-1 profile, my 4-1 profile is called the bonus life. I combine fixed foundations with penetrating clarity. That's what RIC is, right? You don't just learn, you know. People might not always understand your insights at first, but they will remember the truth you bring. Your voice of perspective, making the complex feel suddenly obvious. This is what I'm doing with RIC, right? I'm so excited to share the behind the scenes in this and read this through with you, because it truthfully feels so aligned with who I am, what my purpose is, right? And your gifts and your placements and your energy and your conation are going to do the same for you. So disruption is the last. It's part of the last part of the rapid profile. It's our catalyst, the friction that forces your strength. Saturn reflects your life's curriculum, the long-term lessons that you're here to master. And Uranus reveals the part of you that refuses to conform, your inner rebel, innovator, or change agent. So right now we're looking at 2 different placements within your human design chart. So my Saturn gate is in gate 19, line 1. This gate teaches us about sensitivity and need. The life lesson that I am learning is to honor interdependence without losing autonomy. You disrupt through emotional attunement. What others might miss, you instinctively feel. And I thought that I was the most emotional, sensitive person on the planet. And it turns out that what I was doing was tapping into other people's emotions and processing and metabolizing them as if they were my own. In reality, I intuitively and instinctively feel what other people feel. And that's a superpower. It's not a flaw. And so now I understand that through understanding my energetics, through understanding my design, is that I'm actually here to be really wise about emotions and not really need to process other people's stuff, but more so call attention to it and help them vocalize what they're going through so they can transmute it. My Uranus gate, 14, line 4. This gate fuels self-empowered creation. You rebel by generating value on your own terms. Your innovation comes not from rebellion for its own sake, but deeply grounded desire to live and lead on purpose. So I hope that this gave you a good glimpse into, into your profile and into what you get with the RIC. And I hope that you take the time to do this assessment. Even if you don't get your Kolbe, even if you don't know your birth date, time, and location, your results will be far beyond your comprehension and accuracy for who you are as a soul. We have a unique blueprint, and people joke like people don't come with manuals. Like, this is your manual, and you can start to engage with your chart now, right? We have our rapid profile, and now I can start to be like, what was this Venus gate about? Can you expand in this area? Or, hey, I'm working on this project. Like, how could I message this in a way that would really resonate with my ideal audience? And here's my ideal audience. And knowing everything about me, how could I position this? Or how might I go deeper within myself and uncover some of the limitations I might have that are standing in my way of bringing this brilliance to the world, right? You can now be the captain of your own ship with the help of AI, with the help of your rapid instinct profile. And so I hope you can join me on the next episode. I'm thinking about going more deeply into the conation part of it, really explaining what is conation, looking at the three parts of the brain, looking at the four modes and three zones of operation, and giving you some tools and tricks dependent on what zone you might fall into. I might look at that quiz I have, and you can self-assess, and that way you can at least get some information on this, channel. And then if you want to take that even further into the RIC, you'll be able to do that. I really appreciate you being here, subscribing and liking and commenting. I would love to know what your RIC profile is. As I am launching this, the first 500 people get 50% off. There's a pop-up on my website where you can fill out a form, you'll receive a code, and you can get it for $27.50 right now. So I really encourage you to go do that. Share it with your family and friends, get your affiliation code, and I will see you on the flip side.